And as I was preparing for today's show, I just happened to be watching the Wings postgame show on Fox Sports Detroit. And I want you to listen to this because it appears to me, and from watching and hearing, that you pissed off one Henrik Zetterberg. Please listen.
Henrik, with the trade, I don't know if you were asked about this, but when the trade today and then maybe more trades coming, do you feel you need to make sure the guys understand what's going on and not feel like things are being given up on or anything like that?
The guys in this locker room has not give up, so I don't think I have to talk to anyone in here.
And he just walked off. Woj, you pissed off the captain.
No. You know, it was abrupt. But you know what? Don't you think that was a little flash of annoyance that he's ticked off that management is indeed beginning the rebuild?
No.
Don't you think it was more directed? It wasn't directed at little Woj. That's not possible.
He did pointedly say the guys in here, meaning the guys in the four corners of the room, not the guys in the cushy offices that are probably still located in a trailer as they finish construction on Little Caesars Arena, right?
No, but he was. I think he thought you were intimating that the players in the room have given up, and they would. Nobody ever gives up, even if they know there's a rebuild.
No. Stoney's wrong. Jamie's right on this one because the question was that you've been given up on, and not like that you've given up. And Henrik Zetterberg is a very smart young man, and I think I think Jamie's exactly right. He's saying not in this room in this building, meaning another room. But you know what? And I don't even think. And I did. You guys are pretty astute. I figured you'd find that little clip there because. But I don't think it's like I cannot believe they're going to start tearing down this great team we have. I don't think he believes that at all, but they just went through a really competitive game. That was a feisty game against Nashville and, you know, a little chippy with the Subban at the end. So I think there was some pride bubbling up there. And no, I'm not saying you're completely wrong because, you know, I can be annoying, of course. Hello.
No evidence.
But I think when he specifically said not in this room, he meant the players, not versus – because, whatever, does Peter Mrazek mean you're giving up? No, but it is the beginning of the process, and they know that. And if they weren't 8 points out of a playoff spot, they might not be starting to make some trades.
Now, also last night, Woj, it was senior night in East Lansing. Michigan State clinched a share of the Big Ten title, 81-61. The whole seeding of Michigan State, I know we talked about this last week, so we won't go there. I think that they'll end up being a 1 seed. Personally, you have followed college basketball. You guys combined have followed it longer than any other human being on the planet. But they are now 26-3, right? Do I have that record right? 26-3. They are a conference regular season champion. I don't know what's going to happen in the tournament, but in my years of following college basketball, I have never seen a team from a Power 5 conference finish the season with a record that is the likes of 26-3 and been anything lower than a 2 seed in the NCAA tournament. In fact, more often than not, they're a 1 seed. So I do feel like
they've actually bumped up to 27-3 by now.
27-3. Pardon me, I didn't mean to shortchange them.
Can't keep track of all the wins. No, this is, and we did, so we don't need to revisit it. But it is college sports trolling fans again. You know, with the seedings and whatnot. I do think. Well, certainly if they win the Big Ten tournament, they'll be a number 1 seed. Now, if they don't win the Big Ten tournament, I'm not going to go all geeky on you with, again, the Quadrant 1 victories and Quadrant 2 victories. But it is a case of, and you can say it's right or wrong, but college basketball is really trying to emphasize schedules and strength of schedules. And it's not Michigan State's fault that Notre Dame got injured and fell apart. And it's not their fault that this is the downest Big Ten in recent memory. I mean, Nebraska might finish 13-5 in the Big Ten and not make the NCAA tournament, and it might not even be close. Truly, like they might not even be one of the last 4 out.
And they beat a North Carolina team that's not vintage. They beat a Connecticut team that's certainly not vintage. Not their fault.
You're talking about Michigan State?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought you were talking about Nebraska. I thought Stoney had switched on me.
No,
and true. And the schedule, and this is not, it's a great Big Ten championship, but the schedule, they didn't have a chance to win They didn't play Michigan on the road. They didn't play Purdue on the road. They only played Ohio State once. They only played Nebraska once. So they really haven't been able to pile up any impressive schedule victories. That said, and I hate to use this phrase, and as soon as I say it, I want it stricken from the record. But if you, by the eye test, even though the eye test is not a legitimate measure, but by the eye test, they are a top 4 team in the country and a number 1 seed. I do appreciate that the selection committee is at least requiring a little bit more data to back up long-standing eye tests. Because, as you get older, your eyes get harder to focus and stuff like that.
Damn right.
So you do need more data, and partly through no fault of their own, they're a little shy on the data. But if they go to the Big Ten tournament and beat like Purdue and Michigan and whoever, they'll have plenty of data to be a number 1 seed.
But see, you're going to accuse me of being a sabermetrician, deadhead, stat geek, whatever. But I do think there is one statistic that people are taking for granted and overlooking and not making enough of. Okay, and see if you can get this through your thick skull when I point out the following statistic. Okay, Michigan State has played 30 games this season. And in 30 of those games, they've scored more points than their opposing team 27 times.
They've won 27 out of 30 games? Well, why didn't you say that from the start?
I mean, why is that being so poo-pooed? The Big Ten's down. Okay, we get it. I know. Okay, fine. They're 27-3. Hello?
So,
what is so hard about that to understand?
So you're big on wins. So did you guys talk about when Central Florida won the
No. Don't go
No.
down that. How dare you?
Did you talk about that?
That sounds like something I would do. For you to do that to me, you Mr. Power Conferences. No, I'm not talking about Central Florida. I'm talking about the Big Ten. It's got its own network, for God's sakes. Are you aware of this?
This is one. Listen, I'm just telling JB. I'm not telling you what's fair. That's for you to decide in your little head. I'm telling you why something is.
Big head. Yeah.
And the Big Ten, by all measures, is as down as it's ever been. Did you just hear me? And that's not just like me talking. Nebraska could finish 13-5 in the Big Ten and not make the NCAA tournament, and might not have a single argument in favor of making it either. That's how down the Big Ten is.
Yeah, you know one of the reasons why they're down, Woj?
Because
Michigan State beat all their asses. I mean, like, seriously.
No, not really.
Maryland would have a better record if they didn't have to play Michigan State. So would Rutgers. So would Northwestern. So would Iowa. So would Indiana. All those schools would have better records if Michigan State weren't barnstorming through the entire conference.
Wojo's right, because the other best teams in the conference only played Michigan. Michigan State only played them once, meaning Ohio State, Purdue, and Michigan.
Right. It is a complete quirk that happened, that those happened, which, again, it's going to end going forward. They'll play Michigan twice. But that is the fact. I mean, the bottom half, and it's not just Michigan State beating up on them, the bottom half is truly off. Did you watch the second half of that Michigan State Northwestern game?
I didn't.
Saturday, by the way?
That actually never happened. That game was vacated.
No, listen. I get what you're saying, and I do think they will end up being a number 1 seed because the way they're playing, they're going to perhaps roll through the Big Ten tournament. But don't you appreciate that people are using data to a certain degree? I mean, much to a larger degree now in college basketball, and picking and teams, whether by accident or on purpose. If the schedule
I can't believe this is happening.
Not great,
I'm getting lectured by Wojo on essentially advanced metrics.
So I'd rather ask.
What do you think of their batting? What do you think of their batting average on balls in play, Woj?
Wojo, more importantly, you ready? Well, quick answer: who's calling the plays in the fall? Harbaugh, Pep Drevno, or Sharkman?
Or Dan Enos? Yes, all the above.
Yes. It depends on what play, Stoney. Is it a 2nd and 8? Is it a 3rd and 1? Is it a 4th and goal? You tell me which play, and then I'll tell you who's calling it. Listen, Harbaugh has done this before with kind of a muddled offensive system, and he ends up at least approving the. Sometimes he just says, I want a running play here versus a passing play, and then they figure out and give them one or the other. But it's confusing, and it's I would even say it's concerning. But I'll tell you this. It's better than not doing anything to juggle that offensive system.
Well, and plus, Michigan's supposed to have one of the hardest schedules in college football, so you probably already have them in the playoff, even if they go like 2-10. But look who they play. It's so hard.
I will tell you this. It's better to lose to a really good team than beat a really bad team.
Can I just ask you this on the McElwain hiring?
Wow.
As the crafter and provider each Friday during the college football season of the college football picks column, which is a kind of a tongue-in-cheek lampooning of college football. How often will the porpoise and the coach be mentioned?
We believe it was a shark, don't we?
Yeah.
I just a sea creature of some kind.
I think you should take him to the shark. You should take him to the Shark Club and interview him. Being fully objective here, it was great fun. Coach Florida. Now that he's up here, we will at some point revisit the sea creature episode if it did not happen. I think we'll update it though, and maybe have him be with lake trout of some sort. Don't you think? Just or Willie the Wolverine.
to the state of Michigan. I cannot believe that has come back around and has now worked its way up here. And,
I know.
And all kidding aside, okay, we had fun with it, partly because we did not know if it was him, if it was true, right?
But it was him,
right?
Don't. But it was him. But it was him, right?
Well, maybe he finally wanted to coach an offense that played like a dead fish at times. I don't know.
Which local assistant coach has authored a more embarrassing moment, Joe Cullen or Jim McElwain? Give us a call, 248-539-97.
I got to go with the Naked Lions coach.
I don't know. We never saw public pictures of that one.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, Woj, we'll listen to you tonight, 6 o'clock. It's the Bogey and Wojo show. 2 full hours tonight?
No, we're going to go 1 hour today, if that's okay.
1 hour tonight. 1 hour tonight before Inside Tiger Talk Town. 2 full hours sometime soon. Good talking to you, Woj.